Happy Tuesday. Today I'll be doing another highlight and contour video, except for I'll be doing the opposite technique I spoke about last time. Last time I mentioned that I like to do my highlighting and contouring afterwards. However, I did want to show you the other way of doing it, which is, and I like to use a brush when I do that, whereas last time I mentioned that I like to go with my hands. And I actually just got this foundation brush and I love it, so I think I might be converting to the new way. So, first you can see I have, the usual dark circle, some blemishes, that my brows aren't filled in. So starting, I just washed my face and moisturized. Okay? So, first things first, now I'm going to start with all of my concealers. So, I'm using Physicians Formula here, Youth Code, same as last time. Putting that under on my eyes. I do get some redness here, so this is again where we're trying to even out all the skin tone as well as highlight. Apply it on my blemishes, but as well you also want to highlight the chin area here and up in there, okay? And actually, in fact, I usually bring this down a little more as well. Okay. And then I go ahead in with my dark, and again I use a really dark concealer. It's CoverGirl in Medium Deep. I like to use that as my contour, so I just draw all the way around the edge. It's okay if it's not perfect because we're gonna blend it before we put on the foundation. Still, we just won't blend it quite as much. I'm gonna put it in along here, and along there, and the most important. This I like to go quite boldly along here. Kind of put lots of product I'm going to be putting the foundation over. You can see, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do like them to generally have dark in the same spots. Again, my dog is very excited about highlighting and contouring, but already you can kind of see, what type of face shape we're trying to do. We're trying to accentuate the cheekbones, bring in the chin here to really give an emphasis between the two. You can also carry this one down on your neck. I just often forget to remove necessarily all my makeup on my neck, so I'm not going to do that. And then I take my wonderful blending sponge. So I usually blend this stuff just with my fingers, or I usually use this one for the contour. So I'll use a lighter spot on it just for my other spots. And again, you really want the highlight to be all along the top here. Top of your cheekbones, so your eyes and under your eyes and your cheekbones look super bright and radiant. And then here it's more or less just bringing a tiny bit of brightness and evening out the skin tone. Now, large blemishes like that I usually go in as well afterwards, just to put in a tiny bit more concealer if you really want them to be covered, along with some powder to set it. And now for the dark stuff. So last time we really blended it out. This time you're really not. Like you do want it to be just noticeably darker. Of course, you don't want to see the line. But you can see I'm leaving it quite dark, and this side is not as dark as the other. So I'm just going to go ahead right in here and go add some more. So I wonder what everyone's doing for New Year's. At least in my time zone, it is only the morning of New Year's. I have some friends in Australia who are a little ahead of me. Okay, but hopefully everyone's going to go do something fun. I'm a little boring, so I'm just going to be hanging in with my husband. And again, you can see that line quite a bit in here. And then this. Okay, so this part, I don't rub it around circles like I did last time. I just rub it right underneath there. Because once you have your foundation on your brush, you can blend and move this line a lot. The real bummer though is if you put on your foundation and you can't see the contour at all. Because then it's easy to fix. You can either add it on top or do a bronzer, but for me that's the main part. So again, you can still see it's still quite a line. I might blend this one out just a little tiny bit more. But I do like having it come quite close. Especially on this side, you can see where the shade hits my face, that it's already resembling a lot of what we want. But obviously you're not going to go outside looking like this, okay? So, sorry, just fix this. Okay. So, next, I'm using my Aqua Smoothers. I'm just going to go ahead and put that on here. I'm actually going to mix mine with a little bit of lotion, just because I want mine to be a little bit more like a tinted moisturizer. I don't use a lot. I kind of do, try to do what 50% foundation, 25% moisturizer. Okay. And again, try not to forget your SPF. So then here's my brush here. And a little goes a long way. So if you're just able to just get a little, get it well saturated, but not a ton, because otherwise it will come on really thick. So I'm just going to start in here on my nose, coming right down, blending it right under my eye. This contour along my nose, I don't mind if I blend it out even a little too much, just because it's okay, because it's not something you want to be, you want that one to be really subtle. And right now we've done it all under here, so now I'm going to go ahead and finish off the forehead. And I never want to go over it too much with the brush, but again, you do want to be saturated, because you're not wanting to cover it. You know, you can still see it popping out up here on my forehead, just a little tiny bit, and that's what I want. At least I'm sure some makeup artists might prefer something a little lighter, less obvious. However, I like my contours to be a little stronger, because my cheekbones are not so prevalent. And again, you can see that along the chin line. It is actually all blended, except for, of course, my favorites. Okay, so these are really, when I'm doing it right here in my cheeks, I try not to have too much product on, you can see. And I just... And there we go. This lighting is not the best. I wish I had a more natural lighting. But I'll post a picture afterwards when I'm done on the blog as well, so you can see it. Right now this is making this one look a little yellow, so I'm just going to add a little bit of foundation here. Okay, so that's number 1. Well, number 2 through 3. And then again, the brows, you want it to line right up there, so I finally took care of my brows and my roots, just because they were looking a little drab. And when you're doing your brows, I try to go in shorter movements, so it does really replicate the look of your brows. So then there we go. And now my next thing is my translucent powder. So again, that's going to act as a really nice highlight. But also, when you're doing your eye makeup on top, it's going to level it out. So for right now, I'm not going to include much eye makeup today. I'm just going to continue in the contour. So just what you would do under eye, not necessarily being a smoky look or otherwise. So I'll just grab one of my brushes here. This is a wider fan. I'd probably usually use a softer one, but I just take a nice little light kind of champagne color, sweep it all over my lid. Okay, and then I'll take more subtle color. You can kind of see it there, and just, this is just what would go. And again, you really want to join right up with that other line that you had. Again, this is a really subtle color that you could use, and people probably, unless they're, you know, again, makeup inclined to makeup, would barely even know you have. I would usually layer with this, like a deep plum or rich chocolate to accentuate the crease. But again, that just helps continue the emphasis on your contouring. So Now, something I didn't do last time is I went out and bought, it's really inexpensive, just Essence Metal Glam. It's just a light highlighting powder. You can see here when I put it on my skin, it just gives a nice iridescence. So I've gone ahead, wiped off my translucent powder, and now I'm just using my big brush all underneath. I mean, I could kind of use this as my translucent powder, but I'm just putting that all the main areas I highlighted. And I'll go ahead and put my liquid eyeliner and then my mascara, and I'll show you an after picture in a little bit better lighting. Alright, well, have a great day, and let me know which technique you liked better. Again, I do think if you're using foundation brush, this one works really, really well. Although you do pay attention to detail, make sure how much product you have on it. Otherwise, I'm still a fan of the other one as well. Alright, happy Tuesday and happy New Year's Eve.